Hey everyone, welcome back to Bow and Arrow Garage. So today I'm going to be working on the C3 Corvette again, and in this video my main goal is to maybe take this thing on its first drive. I don't know if I'll accomplish that today, but that's my goal. Last night I put the throttle cable in. I didn't get a whole lot of video because a lot of it was up under the dash. It was really difficult to even get in there, let alone try to take a video of it. But I'll show you kind of what I did, some of the issues I ran into. And today my goal is to try to put the radiator fans in. It's going to be a little bit of a modification and mock-up, so it's going to take a little bit of work, but we're going to get those things in, and then we'll be able to fill this thing up with coolant. I'm afraid I might have a leak on my power steering pump, but I think after this I'm going to go ahead and put coolant in it because it is winter time, and the last thing I want to do is put water in it again and then have it freeze and crack the block or something. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to jump into the video and we'll see where we can get. So I didn't get a lot of video of me actually installing this throttle cable, but I wanted to show you the throttle cable that I ended up purchasing. It's from a company called Motion Raceworks, and they have a 36-inch version and a 48-inch version. I ended up buying the 36-inch version, and it was plenty long. I actually had to cut some of it off, and that's the good thing about these is they are actually a cut-to-fit cable. And as you can see, I just kind of routed it over here, the top of the intake manifold, and down around, and it goes down through the firewall back there. But anyways, there was a couple of things that I really liked about it. The first thing is that it was cut to fit. The second thing is here on this end, it has a cast in place ball end that they claim prevents slipping. Only time will tell if that's true or not, but it seems like a quality product. So I did have to do one thing different. Here at this end, there's an adjuster sleeve that was supposed to go here that would give you fine-tuned adjustments of your cable tension basically, and I actually had to use that on the firewall side, and the reason is because the hole in the firewall is pretty big on these cars, and these nuts were trying to pull through the firewall. There just wasn't enough meat there to support it. So I ended up having to use a large area fender washer on the inside and the outside, and this wasn't long enough to go through both fender washers, the metal plate that's on the front side of the firewall, and the fiberglass of the firewall. So I ended up having to flip it around, but it turned out not to be a big issue. It fit perfectly in this bracket. And that's another thing. I bought this Holley throttle plate bracket, and it worked perfectly with this Motion Raceworks cable. And the good thing is that this slot actually is serrated, and this bracket actually still can be adjusted. So there is still some fine adjustment that I have there. So anyways, at the end of the day, I have a functional throttle cable, and that's what really matters. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and we'll see how it works in the long run. But like I said, today the main goal is to get these E-fans in. So I've got my radiator covered up again so I just don't beat it up, and we're gonna get in here and see what we can do. So I purchased this Dorman radiator fan assembly. It's a part number 620634, and it would have been the radiator fan assembly that would have come in the 99 Camaro that my donor engine came out of. So I figured that'd be the best route to take. And so now I've just got to adapt it over to this C3 radiator. Okay, so this is what I've come up with on the lower side. So I guess this is where the F-body tangs attached, but on this, obviously it doesn't have the F-body core support. So I put these in there, and let me crawl into the car and I'll show you what my idea is. I'm gonna put a slot here, and that slot is gonna sit over this bolt right here, and the only thing I'm really concerned about right now is the space that's going to be between the radiator and the fans, but for now this is what I'm coming up with. I'll see how it works, and then if I have to, I'll figure something out in order to kind of get it closer, but for right now that's what we're going to have. I ended up drilling a hole. I said I was going to slot it, but I just ended up drilling a hole through the bracket, and that attaches to the stud on the radiator core supports. So eventually I might end up putting a metal plate on the back side of the plastic, but for now this seems pretty secure. That third hole there in the center,
I was going to put one additional bolt, but I didn't account for the width of the core support bracket, so the bolt head was interfering with it. So I ended up having to pull that out. But all in all, it came out pretty sturdy, so I think it's going to be good. So here on the top, guys, this is what I ended up doing. That black bracket at the top, that is the original fan shroud support bracket for the small block engine. So I just used it, and I bought some 1.5 inch wide by 1/8 inch thick aluminum stock from Tractor Supply, and I bent it down to where it would basically comes down, it bends back, and then it bends slightly forward again, and just to pick up those 2 bolts on the bottom. And then I did put another strip of that aluminum stock on the forward side. That way that when I drilled the holes through the shroud, just through the plastic, that the plastic wouldn't be holding the entire load of the radiator fans, because they are pretty heavy. And so I've got another piece of stock on the front side. So both of the bolts are going through aluminum, and then the plastic is just sandwiched in between. So all in all, I think it's a pretty sturdy installation. So that's what I'm going to go with for now.
Okay, everybody, it's the next day. I'm going to continue working on trying to get these cooling fans wired in, get this radiator up to snuff. I had a pretty long and rough day yesterday. It just seemed like nothing that I did worked out right, but I did get the fans mounted in the car. There may be some stuff that I have to revisit down the road, but for right now it's functional. I just need to get the fans wired in, and then we can go on from there. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get these fans to kick on. Alright, fans. Fan 1 on. And there it goes. I'm going to turn fan 2 on. Alright, there it goes. And off. Alright, I'm going to turn them both on, and I'm going to see what kind of suction we're getting. So, fan 1 on. Okay, so I have something backwards because I am getting a push and not a pull. So I was loading the video for the wiring issue and my computer died and it corrupted the file. So even though I can see the video, I can't upload it and edit it into the video. So I wanted to show you, if you look at those 2 wires coming off the fan, they're colored red and black. And I just assumed that the red was hot and the black was ground. But apparently the polarity was reversed, and it was causing the fans to be pushers instead of pullers. And so I went ahead and just swapped the wires, and now they are working correctly. So I finally got this coolant system to burp. It took at least an hour. It just it had an air pocket in it and it just didn't want to come out. But I jacked the front of the car up, I jacked the back of the car up. I did everything I could, ran it with the cap on, ran it with the cap off. Finally it burped, and I don't know if you can read the scanner, but my temperatures were right at 187. Before they were 230. I was shutting it off at 230. I would start the car, and they would just steadily climb, and I mean it would just go and hit 230. And I'm not going to run it past 230, so I shut it off and put some more fluid in it and do it again and do it again, and like I said, it took about an hour. And so now at least it's probably to the point where we can maybe drive it. Unfortunately, I've got a leak in my thermostat housing. It looks like the water pump is good, actually, which I was afraid was going to leak, but it's not. On the thermostat housing, it's not where I thought it would be, though. It's actually on the bolts that hold the thermostat housing on. It's got the set screws on it, and on this particular one I bought, and for whatever reason it's just not sealing. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, and I think I'm okay to run it like that for a little while. Eventually I'll have to fix it, but now that I got it burped, I want to go ahead and be able to do some tuning on it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay guys, so I'm gonna take this thing on its first drive, and when I say first drive, I'm gonna drive it out, turn it around, and drive it forward into the garage. Everything could go wrong has gone wrong today. It's been a mess, but we've got the fans working finally. We've got the radiator system to burp, even though now we've got a leak on the water pump, which I kind of figured was going to happen. So anyways, it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and just see. I want to test out the clutch and make sure it works. It's probably not a great idea to move it right now. I don't have my speedometer cable connected and everything, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and send it. Get it out. So anyways guys, that's going to be it for this video. The exciting news is the car runs and drives. It actually goes into gear, it goes into reverse, it actually moves under its own power. Obviously it's got a long way to go. Got a lot of tuning that I need to do in the car. Unfortunately the water pump is leaking, and I had discussed that in the previous video, that there was a potential that it might leak, and sure enough it is leaking, so I'll have to get another water pump. The car is in serious need of an exhaust system, and really just a general tune-up. I kind of threw old spark plug wires and spark plugs in it, but all these things take money and time, and so I have very little of both right now. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that like button, and we hope to see you again next time. Thanks and have a great night.